NMU provides a University Center update, and Global Citizens Week is celebrated this week at Northern.
Later, Caleb Rydell will have an up-to-date forecast, and Max Stevens will be back with your sports. Hi, I'm Jillian Wormlinger.
And I'm Max Stevens, and this is Public Eye News. And the University Center has been under construction at Northern Michigan University since last summer. A week after students graduated in May, the Pioneer Wing of the UC was torn down and rebuilt entirely. The first floor of the newly built UC will host the NMU bookstore and a sports bar. The second floor will be the location of the ballroom, a series of banquet rooms that will open up into one large ballroom. The bookstore is scheduled to open April 15th, but the ballroom is not scheduled to open until May 1st. The new renovation will also come with a name change, as the UC is being renamed the Northern Center. The entire University Center renovation project is expected to be done this September. And this week is Global Citizens Week, and Northern Michigan University is celebrating. Throughout this week, there will be lots of events for students and the general public to attend in order to promote positive conversation and action in regards to social, environmental, and cultural issues. The list of events includes movies being shown, discussion panels, and more. The goal of the event is to generate thought about more about culture and encourage people to be active and involved in the global community. If you would like to see the full list of events being offered, you can go to events.nmu.edu.
Actress Angela Kinsey, best known for her role on the NBC television series The Office, will give a presentation at Northern Michigan University on April 4th at 7:30 p.m. in Jamridge 1100. The presentation is free for students with valid NMU ID. Kinsey portrayed Angela Martin on The Office, which earned her 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards for outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series. She also appeared in recurring roles on TBS comedy Your Family or Mine and in the Netflix series Haters Back Off. This event is produced by Platform Personalities, a student organization dedicated to bringing educational, motivational, and inspirational speakers to NMU's campus. And this summer, firework enthusiasts in Marquette will have new rules to follow on designated holidays. City Ordinance 677 has made it so that fireworks can only be set off New Year's Eve and Day, the weekend before Memorial Day, the weekend before Labor Day, and from June 29th to July 4th, all during new restricted hours. There have been many complaints and too many disturbances during the holidays, according to City Manager Mike Angeli. Violation of the new ordinance will result in a $1,000 fine, half of which will go to the City Police Department's effort towards enforcing the law. Those projects are slated to begin early this summer and be complete by this fall.
It's an exciting time for the city of Calumet, as the city's indoor hockey rink has made the Kraft Hockeyville USA Final Four. The Calumet Coliseum is the oldest indoor ice rink in North America, built in 1913. For making it to the Final Four, the Coliseum has won $10,000 for new equipment. But if they win the entire event, they will be awarded a $150,000 grand prize and will be able to host an NHL preseason game. To win, the Coliseum will have to get the most fan votes at the Kraft Hockeyville website. Voting opens this Saturday and closes on Sunday. If the Coliseum wins, they plan to update the sound system, get new dehumidifiers, get rid of the Freon system, and install new heaters. On top of the ice of Little Bay Denoke now stands 2 burnt-down camper trailers. The Department of Natural Resources was contacted about the burning, and after investigating, they contacted the owner. The owner admitted to lighting both trailers on fire in front of people. The DNR has stated that the owner of the trailers operated as a guide service over the ice but did not move them during the winter, and they froze. Not wanting to pay the towing costs to get the trailers off the ice, the owner decided to light them on fire. The owner is likely to face several charges, as the DNR will now have to remove debris from the ice. Michigan law requires structures placed on the ice in the Upper Peninsula to be removed by midnight on March 31st. Anyone with information about someone illegally burning or leaving behind litter should contact the DNR by calling the RAP line at 1-800-292-7800. Don't touch that dial. After the break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. This week on UTR, we're back in the UP with more stuff for you to see and do. We'll chow at a Steinhaus you'll wish was your house, embark on the Eben Ice Caves, and show you a snowmobiler's paradise. We'll even snowshoe the trails at Tequamanon. This isn't under the radar. You just gotta see.
Thursday at 9:30, Friday at 5, and Saturday night at 10:30.
And welcome back. New Jersey is ordering 5 companies that manufacture chemicals used to stain-proof clothing and produce non-stick cookware to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to clean up contamination from the substances. The State Department of Environmental Protection, MO, ordered the manufacturers Monday to provide a detailed account of their use and discharge of PFAS substances over the years. The substances are sometimes called forever chemicals because they do not break down and tend to accumulate in the air, water, soil, and even fish. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announced a plan to address PFAS contamination on a national level, but that plan might take years to enact. And the Mueller investigation may be finished, but the fight over its findings appears to be just getting started. Nicole Killian reports from the White House.
President Trump's allies are declaring victory.
It was a very clear answer: no collusion. It is a moment in time that America can now move forward.
On Sunday, Attorney General William Barr released a letter summarizing Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. It said Mueller did not find that the Trump campaign or anyone associated with it conspired or coordinated with Russia. But as to whether the president obstructed justice, Barr said that while Mueller's report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. Democrats are now emphasizing that last point.
The president's personal attorney, his campaign manager, his first national security advisor have all been convicted of significant crimes. So I think it is important for Democrats to push back on the narrative that this report fully exonerates the president.
Even though the president and some fellow Republicans support making the special counsel's full report public, on Monday, Senate Republicans blocked a resolution calling for its release.
Maybe I am being naive now, maybe, but I have confidence that most people will look at this report and say it is over.
The Democratic chairs of 6 House committees sent a letter of their own to the Attorney General. It said his 4-page summary was not sufficient for Congress and gave him a week to deliver Mueller's entire report to them. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Apple has at last unveiled a new TV streaming service, its own branded credit card, and a news subscription product. The announcement represents an important step for the company as they look to expand its empire. Apple also plans on launching Apple News Plus, a subscription service for news magazines and newspapers, which will include some titles like The New Yorker and Sports Illustrated. Apple also plans on launching a new game subscription service to be released later this fall. And the attorney best known for representing porn star Stormy Daniels in lawsuits against President Trump was arrested yesterday. Michael Avenatti faces charges of extortion against Nike as well as bank and wire fraud. Meg Oliver has the latest.
Michael Avenatti appeared in a Manhattan federal court Monday, not representing a client, but facing multiple federal charges from U.S. attorneys in both California and New York. In California, Avenatti faces federal bank and wire fraud charges. U.S. attorneys say he embezzled $1.6 million of a client's settlement money to pay his own expenses and debt.
Mr. Avenatti then used his client's money to pay expenses for his own coffee business.
They say he also defrauded a Mississippi bank using phony tax returns to obtain millions of dollars in loans,
which we believe have been used to fuel an unrestrained and lavish lifestyle by Mr. Avenatti.
In New York, Avenatti faces federal extortion charges. U.S. attorneys say in meetings that took place just last week, Avenatti threatened Nike and demanded more than $20 million in payments. They say Avenatti claimed to have evidence of Nike employees funneling illegal payments to top high school basketball prospects and their families.
I am highly confident that when all of the evidence is laid bare in connection with these cases, when it is all known, when due process occurs, that I will be fully exonerated and justice will be done.
Avenatti represented adult film star Stormy Daniels in lawsuits against President Donald Trump. Avenatti could face up to 50 years in prison if convicted on wire and bank fraud charges. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Clifton, New Jersey.
And stay tuned because after this break, we'll be back with your weather and sports.
On Secret secrets of the dead.
Welcome to the Dark Ages.
An era of violence and chaos.
There's plagues, there's civil war, the Saxons are just slaughtering everybody.
Did the mythical King Arthur rise from this moment to unite Britain?
Caliban, is that Excalibur?
Were the Dark Ages far different and far more prosperous than believed?
This is people living well. This is people living very well.
King Arthur's Lost Kingdom on Secrets of the Dead.
Wednesday night at 10 on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. I'm Caleb Redall, going to be taking you through your weather for today. As you can see behind me on the NMU campus, we have quite a bit of that snow melting off. We're getting quite a bit of water out there, but things aren't too bad flooding-wise, so don't be too worried about it. But yes, we got all of that snow that is melting off just a little bit, and it's getting quite nice out there. Current conditions outside are partly cloudy with a temperature of 45 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest at 9 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.39 inches and falling. Taking a look tonight, we're going to see partly cloudy out there with a low of 32 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest at 11 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, we're going to see rain out there. I know, but we don't want it, but it's going to come. We got a high of 49 and winds out of the south-southwest at 21 miles per hour. Taking a look at our current temperatures outside, we're going to see Sault Ste. Marie with 39 degrees, 36 in Manistee, Escanaba with 39, and that sunshine, and sunshine's also going to be there in Menominee with 40 degrees. Taking a look at the western half of the UP, 44 degrees in Iron Mountain, Ironwood with 44. Look at that, a third 44 right there in Houghton. Back here, Marquette, that 45 degrees and partly cloudy. Let's take a look at your week ahead. Now on Thursday, we got a high of 43 and a low of 26 and some clouds out there. Friday with a high of 41, low of 26 and a couple of clouds out there. And then Saturday, we got a high of 29 and a low of 22 with some snow. So it is going to just chill off a little bit at the end of the week. Well, Max, I'm really excited about NFL preseason. You got something for me there?
We got our week 1 opener set up, Caleb. I'm looking forward to it. Yesterday, the NFL announced that it would forego the tradition of the Super Bowl winner hosting the opening game of the season and would instead open the season with Packers at Bears on Thursday, September 5th from Soldier Field. The NFL also announced that the reigning champion New England Patriots open their season on Sunday Night Football at home against an opponent yet to be named. Last season, the Packers won the season opener on Sunday Night Football against the Bears, but lost to the Bears in Chicago in Week 15, where Chicago clinched the NFC North title. There was also much speculation that the Patriots' opponent on the Sunday Night Football opener will be the new-look Cleveland Browns, who are already scheduled to travel to Foxborough at some point during the 2019 season. And Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski announced his retirement from football over social media this past Sunday after 9 seasons, all with New England. Gronk, one of the greatest tight ends to ever put on a helmet, was known as a true combo tight end, dominant catching passes and a force to be reckoned with as a blocker. Gronk's retirement comes before he even turns 30, as his whole career has been plagued with injuries, including multiple back surgeries, a torn ACL, and a fractured forearm. In his 9 seasons, Gronk has racked up countless accolades, including 3 Super Bowl rings, 4 first-team All-Pro honors, and he's the only tight end in NFL history to post 3 seasons of over 1,000 yards receiving and 10 or more touchdowns. And both the Tigers and the Brewers wrap up their spring training campaigns today ahead of MLB's opening day this Thursday. The Brewers will wrap things up tonight at 7:05 with a game against the Blue Jays, while the Tigers finished their spring training earlier today, suffering a 9-3 loss at the hands of the Tampa Bay Rays. MLB's opening day is this Thursday, March 26th. The Tigers will be in Toronto to take on the Blue Jays in a 4-game series to start the year, and will make their home debut on Thursday, April 4th against the Kansas City Royals. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Brewers will open their season with a 4-game home series against the St. Louis Cardinals. And with that, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Public Eye News. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.